Okay, welcome guys back to another video. So, as you can see by the title, today we'll be looking at the SMLE Mark III, very well known rifle of World War One and Two. It served a big role. It was one of the main rifles up until 1957, I think. Stayed in combat. And yeah, so we'll also be looking at hand grenades and their effect on the war. So yes. So the British SMLE rifle is one of the longest serving military rifles ever. I just found out. I ran on my notes and it turns out it was actually in service until 1995, since 1957. I was right. Alright, cool. Yeah. So, really long service gun. Must have been really reliable back in those days. The longest serving military rifles ever having been adopted in 1895 and remaining the standard service rifle until 1957. So let's have a look at some images here. So it's got a British soldier holding a Lee Enfield rifle in World War One, peeking in a corner by the looks of it, looking around the corner. And not just the British used them, the Australians, New Zealand, Indian, mainly the British colonies used them, and I think the Americans had their own variant of it too. Look at this one, got skeleton frame, trench adapted, pretty cool. Yeah. They similarly also stayed in official service until 1995, and even today it is still the standard rifle in some nations, so it isn't letting up. Still a very good rifle, obviously. The legendary Mark III version was introduced in 1907 and served through World War One, so that's what we see in most World War One movies. SMLE, used by the Allies. Sometimes it's pronounced smelly. It's a common nickname for this rifle. It has a smooth and quick bolt action, together with the unusual feature of a detachable 10-round magazine. It allowed a well-trained rifleman to perform the mad minute, firing 20 to 30 aimed rounds in 60 seconds. Whew, pretty fast. Yep, so that was the SMLE segment. I believe it took 303 rounds. 10-round magazine, as we just heard. Bolt action. Very reliable, considering it's still in service today. A very good rifle. I wouldn't know since I wasn't alive back then, but just by reading about it, it seems like a pretty well done gun. So now we're going to the grenades of World War One. Grenades came in many shapes and forms. Disc potato-shaped cylinders attached to potato-shaped cylinders attached to sticks. Yeah, keep in mind, World War One was the start of a whole new era, and this war will bring a lot of new things into the modern world. I believe tanks were invented in World War One, planes, with the, well, planes, I think they were invented before World War One, but they played a big part, like fighting for fighters, bomber escorts and stuff. Yeah. So now, let's see. Hand grenades. Let's look for any stick grenades. I think this is what the Americans used to use. Here's one of the German ones. You'd the top of it, you'd screw it off, and then a string would fall out, and you'd pull it and throw, and it'd ignite the grenade. Yes. So yeah, keep in mind this is World War One, and a lot of new things were being created. They were just testing a bunch of like variants of guns, like machine guns, handheld machine guns, new ways to get around and stuff with those tanks, cannons. It was just bring a lot of things to this world we have today. Some were even fired from rifles, but the hand grenade became the most popular version. Special units of grenadiers were formed during the war and would be responsible for quickly racing down trenches and dugouts and wreaking havoc among the enemy. Grenades proved extremely effective for clearing out pillboxes and strong points. Hand grenades, which contained poisonous gas, were also developed. Yeah, poisonous gas was a big role in World War One. Used in the Battle of Ypres, Passchendaele. Very horrid stuff. Very, very horrid things going on in that time. Not like to be there. So I'll just leave some of these on screen, so you can have a glance at what these grenades looked like back then. Here's a little story from World War One. During a clash on the Poisson Heights in 1916, British and Australian soldiers were involved in the biggest grenade fight of the war. For the German soldiers, the British and Australian soldiers threw some 15,000 grenades in one night. My gosh, I couldn't imagine how loud that would have been. It would have been chaos, just all night long. Hand grenades going off. It'd really make you really paranoid just in case one landed right in front of you. That'd be rough. Let's see some of these gas grenades. So these are what these look like. Some of them. Yeah, this is one. This is a good example. These are, and if anyone's played Battlefield 1, these are one of the most annoying things. People would be spamming these, and you'd have to constantly put on your mask. It was very annoying. And the SMLE Mark III, that was a very fun gun. I used to use, that was one of my favourite guns. I like to role play on that game and pretend I was a Australian soldier with that gun, and it was very fun to use. And yeah, I've got a little bit of info on these guns, but not that much. So it stayed in service for a very long time, very reliable, as said, and these grenades have caused absolute havoc among battlefields of the Great War. Let's see the SMLE of... Yes, very fun gun to use, this game. Sad those Battlefield Day 1 days over. A very fun time. Very, very fun. Now let's take a look at these gas grenades. Oh, these. So it'd be like this. You'd have to constantly put on that mask. Some people just run around with the, what's called Automatico, and just spam gas grenades, and it'd be like so annoying. But it was still a very fun experience. And they even put gas masks on the horses, I believe. So this is a mk3 smoke grenade. I remember these. Battlefield 1. Very helpful. Yes. So all that, I'll wrap it up here. But today small video, we just talked about guns and grenades of World War I. More content coming soon. More history. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to stay tuned for more history on the Great War and World War II. I've been really digging to get into that World War II. Very interesting time period. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.